Afternoon, everybody. Buckle on up, pop the champagne on ice if you haven't already, and settle in for something properly special, because we've made it. It is showtime. After last year's mad sprint of a season crammed in ahead of a record-shattering World Cup, we've really taken our time with this one, and hasn't it delivered? 9 came, 4 progressed, 2 remain. The most decorated side in the competition's history, and the swashbuckling Saracens, who only made their league debut 953 days ago. It is finally here, the 2026 PWR final, and whether you are as local to us as today's protagonists, or you're tuning in from the other side of the world, it is so good to have your company. This place, resplendent. The turnstiles have been whirring for hours, and right across the road from the best party the Allianz Stadium has ever seen, we are about to have our own carnival. Here it is, Alex Osselbury's 5th PWR final selection, and one as decorated, experienced and threatening as they come. Kelsey Clifford's return is the sole change to this pack, where there are 2 World Player of the Years, in the departing Marley Packer and in Sophie de Goody. The halfbacks, according to this month's Rugby Awards, are the best player in the league and the best to wear the red rose. Sydney Gregson's moved to the wings, he's a Bridger Hardy midfield. Jess Breach is in scintillating form. And here it is, Barney Madison's first PWR final selection, but just as eye-catching. 8 full internationals up front, including 3 World Cup winners. Captain Kate Zachary will empty the tank, and what a tank it is, in her final outing in Trailfinders colours. Isla Norman-Bell had a coming-of-age performance at Queensholme. Inside player of the match, Claire Gallagher. Meg Jones needs no introduction, but deserves every decibel of fanfare. Welcome to the big dance, in the big smoke, for a few hours which are about as London as they come. We're at the Stoop in Twickenham as some heavyweights from Hendon collide with some all-stars from Ealing for the right to call themselves not just queens of the capital, but the dominant force in the best league in the women's game. The heatwave has supposedly broken, but try telling that to this lot. We all know it is ice which courses through Zoe Harrison's veins, but Marley Packer and Meg Jones run white hot, and the anticipation is blistering as a new rivalry strides centre stage in the PWR. Saracens believe that trophy is rightly theirs. Trailfinders women reckon that it is time that it carried a new name. What an 80 minutes we have in store for you. We've got a Magic Meg, we've got a Party Packer, and the crackle of 10,000 stuffing the Stoop. I've got 2 World Cup winners alongside me. Katie Daly-McLean, what settles this one? What wins it?
Oh, it's a great question, Claire, and I've been thinking about it for the last 20 minutes. I think it's Saracens' dominance. If they get good gain line, all the basics of rugby, but they have that winning mentality. If they can capitalise, then it's Saracens all day for me.
The fighting talk this week has been quite brilliant. From Sophie Bridger, kindly offering to let Trailfinders women enjoy the first 30 seconds of the final, through to Abby Burton scoffing at Saracens' pedigree, the pedigree you mentioned there, Katie, and making it quite clear, we ain't scared, not 1 ounce. The women from Ealing have never beaten Saracens, but then they'd never beaten Gloucester-Hartbury until this month. What's gone before doesn't matter. There's not a settled pulse in sight, and Hollywood knows those butterflies well. She has played in Premiership finals before, even one right here at the Stoop. But for the first time today, she's the referee. It has been a spectacular season, so let us settle it now. Sarries in black, Trailfinders in yellow. For history, for London, for the right to crown themselves queens. Saracens kick-off, Trailfinders knock-on, and a chance to bring in the other World Cup winner up here in the crow's nest of the Twickenham Scoop. Good afternoon, Emily Scarrett.
Good afternoon. It's absolutely stunning here today, isn't it? I think we are fully set up for one hell of a final, and you can see it straight from that first kick-off. It's a contest. Everything, I think, today is going to be a contest. That first kick, Zoe Harrison straight up in the air, and it gives Saracens their first attacking opportunity.
Clifford, Field and Rose up against Leatherman, Ponsonby and former Saracen Montiel. With Apps, officially the league's best player, feeds. Out and onto Bridger at first receiver, so here is Harrison with the little dummy and the scoop through. Tackle had to be made by Norman Bell and was, but they reload quickly back inside, Canadian to Canadian. This perhaps a little flavour of what the Wolfpack are bringing to the party today. Apps onto Royer. Burton hurtling from the line to make the tackle. Flat onto Packer, who'll be playing here in quarters next season, to Goody. Attacking seams, Saracens eyes up.
Okay, release
but
now.
Cox there with a critical intervention. Turnover ball for the side who finished fourth in the league. No side outside the top two has ever gone on to lift the trophy.
Take a step, take a step.
Claire Gallagher onto Jones, and this place gets awfully loud all of a sudden. On her bike is Jones, carving through is Jones. Passes the ball onto Lappin, who will stretch languid limbs and kick that onwards. Norman Bell haring down on Corrigan, the bounce is cruel. 2 minutes of non-stop, end-to-end stuff.
We said at the beginning, for this to really be a contest, Ealing have to take these opportunities of counter-attack, and this is a massive moment. Saracens, loads of dominance, didn't take any points, and now they're defending their try line.
They've not started well of late, Saracens. It's been a real bone of contention for Director of Rugby, Alex Osterbury.
Okay. Use now, 9. Hold.
Apps will clear and miss-hit it wickedly. Loose ball once more. Important gather from Gabby Senft. Cox wearing 12 today on defensive detail. Harrison. Classily finding the angle as ever. Ball staying in field. There are screaming lungs out there already. How about that from Rosie Inman?
It's a great kick return, isn't it? It's going to be slightly too long, but it definitely sends a warning shot to Zoe Harrison, just about a depth.
Keep coming, Red!
It's still in play. We're out of breath. Never mind the players. Grace White playing in her first Premiership final, the England under-21 flyer. So many of Trailfinders women today locked in the biggest game of their rugby careers to date. Norman Bell onto Olivia Leatherman. Jones. Clung onto desperately there by Emma Hardy, her opposite number. What a job she's going to have containing the Red Roses skipper. Big shots. Royer on Ponsonby. 4 minutes of ceaseless rugby. The whole thing's going to be played like this. They're going to have to bring in water breaks. Meg Jones round the corner, gets the offload away. Inman, numbers out wide, not much space to work with, but Laughlin doesn't need much.
Penalty advantage.
Now the free shot. This has to be converted, you feel, from Trailfinders.
Yeah, it does. And you've got White on the edge there. Oh, just in the error, wasn't it? It was always going to come. What, 4.5 minutes of ball and play? I don't think I've ever seen that, especially not this season.
That's some passage of play, isn't it? Blimey, in a final, you just want to ease yourself in. Everyone wants to find their lungs. That is not the way to do it, but it's a great start. You think you'll go all the way back to the beginning of that passage of play. Saracens were right up in Trailfinders 22, and look where we find ourselves. this is where it all started. We spoke around Megan Jones. Everyone's going to be speaking about her. Trailfinders set up for a kick. It's like a dummy kick. They pass the ball along their own 22 and they're gone and they're off. And that is exactly the threat that they pose. They're going to want to be trying to shift the ball. They're going to want to be doing the slightly unexpected.
The thing that amazes me about Meg is her lateral speed and how quick she covers ground.
Trailfinders with the ball once again, but it's the Saracens with the put-in.
Yeah, we were just saying there just about Meg, and I think traditionally when you were talking to that clip, Emily, people would have used hands, you would have passed that, you would have got it. Whereas Meg is like, actually, no, give it to me. It's everything we want to see from her. She is so quick. I know, yes, it's Bryony Field, but she gets in between defenders, big fend. She's got Sydney Gregson turning that in and out, who's a good edge defender as well. It's a really nice bit of play, and it sets an intent, doesn't it, of what we're going to see from Meg Jones today.
And she's smart. Like, she'll have seen, you know, a hooker opposite her, so that she thinks she can take off and have that lateral speed.
Holly, it's a deliberate knock-on. There's no attempt.
It'd be good to see that last. I know we've gone to a scrum. I think TMO might be coming in.
It's only going to be a penalty only.
But potentially it looked a little bit more deliberate than just
the mark is on the 5-metre line, just off the 15 metres from touch.
Okay.
The way you are now is good.
So it's a penalty against Saracens for a deliberate knock-on.
No, against Ealing.
Against Ealing.
Trailfinders 10.
It's the voice of Craig Maxwell-Keys, our TMO today.
Yeah, you can just see Claire Gallagher getting right in that passing channel, wanting to get high, wanting to put pressure on, but as soon as you put that arm out there and you don't regather the ball, it's always going to be a deliberate knock-on.
Okay, just hit. Get numbers, guys. 6.
A chance for a collective intake of breath. Low and inaccurate from field, not quite in tandem with the lifters there. Zachary, in her final outing in club colours. What an impact she's had at those 2 fledgling programmes, Exeter Chiefs and Trailfinders Women. Wherever she goes, growth and success just follow. Georgia Ponsonby, World Cup winning hooker. Norman Bell switching direction at the very last. Here she is again. What a breakout coming-of-age performance it was from Norman Bell at Queensholme 2 weeks ago.
Don't hold her there, let her roll. You're holding her.
And here she is now, onto Gallagher, Inman, Zachary managed to get that onto Laughlin somehow. Former Worcester Warriors captain. Joe Yapp watching on, so proud, no doubt, of so many of the Worcester alumni across this Trailfinders women team. Leatherman, Ponsonby, Cox with 4 to beat. She's so hard to bring down, but very few get past Alicia Corrigan.
Okay, no, not now, 3.
A titan on both sides, the Canadian had to get that shot to stick. Speaking of things that have to be done, Trailfinders women have to punish Saracens for all of this early territory, all of this early possession. What a way this would be to settle the Butterflies, to soothe the nerves in their first PWR final in just their 3rd year of existence.
Julie O'Macqualet just doesn't do passive tackles, does she? She's started this game absolutely flattening people.
I think Julia O'Macqualet has the highest fear factor in the league. We'll discuss that in a minute. Claire Gallagher hens that high, and it just got a little bit too much on it.
Straight out.
It's the right idea, though, isn't it? Grace White has been walking this touchline up and down, and Saracens getting a little bit short at times, so bad execution, but I think it's a good decision by Trailfinders.
Guys, numbers early.
And it's been all Trailfinders so far, hasn't it? This is obviously at the end. It's a decent spot. Again, just mixing the play up a bit. Not predictable, not letting Saracens set, not letting them know what's coming. This is Caris Cox, Megan Jones link up.
We've got 2 more maestros in action this afternoon. This one all red and black.
Lifting leg. Dangerous play, you're lifting her leg.
It's former Saracen Maya Montiel allowing yet again Sarries the easy exit. It's 2 now.
Yeah, and penalty count, I think, for both sides is going to be something we've got to keep an eye on. Saracens worst in the league all season, and Trailfinders conceding 14 in their semi-final. I know a large proportion of those were at the hands of a Gloucester Hartpury's dominant scrum, but nonetheless, in a final, you just don't want to be given easy outs.
They're just soft. That is a soft penalty. I think if you're Barney Madison, you're watching that, you put all that pressure on, and you give it up like that, he will be frustrated.
The line-out player, I think, is something to really keep an eye on. We've seen missed throws from both sides so far.
It's messy stuff, but it eventually finds its way onto Sydney Gregson, who knows a thing or two about finals footy. Out on the wing today, Gregson. Bryony Fields, Immaculate, terrorising, whether she's got the ball or whether she quite wants it back. Thank you very much. World Player of the Year, Sophie de Goody, onto Rose, into the 22. This is when Saracens are at their most dangerous. No one converts more of these opportunities than the Wolfpack. Corrigan, Packer.
No, it's nothing now.
Dances out of the tackle, and oh, she's holding to touch. She won't like that, Marley Packer.
You don't see it that often, do you? Marley Packer getting bundled about.
Scrum or line out. Scrum or line out. Okay. Scrum, guys.
Saracens with the most offloads all season, heads and shoulders above the rest. Sophie de Goody starting this game in exactly the same vein. Then Marley Packer taking it on, and then fair play to Grace White. She's defended really, really physically all season long.
Apologies for any fruity language you could hear. That was a Kiwi tone drifting over Hollywood's microphone. Georgia Ponsonby excited to rip into the Saracens scrum. Norman Bell, who 2 years ago was in Paris for the Olympics, feeding that one and extricating the ball is Zachary. A little whirlwind of an adventure for the open side there. Borland. Ponsonby with the clear out. Quick ball, crisp ball for Norman Bell. And here's Emma Wassell. Big turnover. And classic Marley Packer turning frustration into a little moment of magic.
Her timing is so good on that, isn't it? There, as soon as it clear release, stays low, chest over the ball, and she is so strong. But for me, it's the work rate before that. It's the way she tracks the play, just waiting for those tackles to be made, and then she's in.
Guys, get your numbers
And again, it's a bit of a warning shot to Trailfinders, isn't it? They obviously got such good joy running out in that first passage of play of their own 22, just understanding when momentum's gone and maybe when to get rid of the ball.
De Goody onto Packer, and onto Field, who's not missed a game in 2 years now for the North Londoners. And don't forget, this is a derby. This is not just a final. The Premiership's on the line, but so too the right to the whole capital city.
Hands away now.
Immaculate.
Take a step.
Here comes Trouble. Picks and rises. She's over the line. She's scoring the first try of the 2026 PWR final. And that just goes to show, if you don't take your chances against the Wolfpack, you will find yourself hanging from their jaws down the other end.
It's such a well-taken try. Julia Immaculate, the speed at which she can pick the ball up and travel those first couple of meters, the acceleration that she has. She's one of the fastest players over 10 meters across the league, across Saracens.
Okay, sweet, thank you.
The speed is unbelievable, coupled with the very evident power that she has from that sort of range. It's such a good finish, and Zoe Harrison, as we've seen all season, all Six Nations, adding the extra 2.
You think she's better than you?
I'm staying well out of this.
Left or right?
It doesn't even warrant an answer, I don't think, at this point. Zoe's kicking's phenomenally well.
No, keep them on you.
Is Zoe Harrison the best kicker, male or female, on the planet right now? Ooh. The percentage would suggest so.
Yeah, I mean, she's by far the best women's kicker that probably we have seen. No, genuinely, Emily. I think for me, it's her consistency. So look, you get goal kickers, but the way she can do it in Six Nations for Saracens, whether it's a game that means nothing or it's a PWR final, it's everything in between.
Best kicker on the planet and 12 World Cup finalists on the pitch right about now. It's not bad, this. And what an opening 15 minutes we have been treated to.
No, ball was lifted, ball was out.
Well, exactly what you want after just conceding. You want to try and get the ball back, and just watch Hayley Head here. She gets herself set. This is the initial kickoff. Saracens really struggled with kickoff reception last week in their semi-final. Then here's number 6. There she goes, trying to get off the line. Just spooks Julia Makwele a little bit, gets in her eye line, and that's enough sometimes, and really good momentum shifter.
Let's go, Kelsey. I'm with you, Kelsey Clifford. Let's fucking go.
Grow!
And apologies once again. Marley Packer. Vintage that hasn't aged in that regard. That'll be happening for the remainder of this one. Norman Bell warming to the task of being Trailfinders women's scrum half, and somebody who just comes in red hot is Jones. One of the most fearsome outside breaks in the game. Zachary, scampering feet, just won't accept the contact, Kate Zachary, ever. Here's her compatriot, Leatherman, one of the unsung heroes of the Ealing outfit. Gallagher, Cox, Inman, Burton, White. Whose battle with Corrigan is really mouth-watering.
Such different wingers, aren't there? One very physical, powerful, one very evasive and light. It's going to be a cracking battle.
Pinwheel from Zachary. All those sevens caps in fine fettle when you see the footwork like that. Burton this time just laying that onto Inman and gifting it. Return to Harrison. How about that counter up? That's appetite, that's desire.
Penalty advantage, side entry.
And now they've got the free hit and some front football courtesy of Niel. Right, let's keep tally of these, shall we? That's 2 sledgehammers from Julia
That's the
Makwele.
penalty for side entry against Sarries.
Especially when you come around with such momentum, don't you? You think, very positive carry here. Bang, no, sit down. Great tackle.
Perfect. 15
This is what I mean. I don't reckon many players in the league are scarier than Julia Makwele.
Oh, she's phenomenal, and she has been all season long, and obviously for Canada. That's the Zoe Harrison turnover, just getting herself in the passing channel. But how you rectify a turnover is you get over that ball, counter ruck, win your team a penalty. I mean, Georgia Ponsonby was travelling as well, wasn't she? Love to see the physicality and the intent and the pace that both sides have started with so far.
Apps, Royer, Makwele, Craik. Alex Osterbury signed well over the summer. It might just result in a title. But first, a yellow and black swarm to contend with. Norman Bell needs to get this out. She needs to be careful here.
Stop there. Use it now.
It's Laughlin to the short side, and Laughlin straight away on clear-out duties because Saracens have made a right mess of that, but heads there to recycle.
Just here, please.
Saracens are not leaving any of these breakdowns alone today.
No, Clay, you're right. They're not every possible one here. You see the first one, Marley Packett, was from the break of the scrum. Just everything that's on the floor. And then this one, I think it's Sophie de Goody there. It's a Gabrielle Sem. Both of them, hands over, nice, good body position. And they're just making such a mess of Trailfinders ball.
Okay, rejoin.
Well, their buzzword in camp when it comes to turning over the ball is confrontational, which actually I don't think we can restrict to just the breakdown when it comes to Saracens. It's kind of their modus operandi. Bridger finding Harrison, and there's acres of space for Corrigan to work. This is music to her ears. Decides to play the odds, hack it upfield. Laughlin looks up and sees Corrigan and Breach combining. That's what Inman was brought in for. Slippery as an eel. And fantastic off the tee. Not that we've had the chance to see that just yet.
Front. Okay, all on.
Corrigan, Harrison and Hardy in the backfield. 22 is on here. 50-22 is in the bag.
Oh, it's some spot, isn't it? We know Zoe Harrison has got a brilliant boot on her, and she's absolutely displayed it there. Started really well initially. This is the backfield movement. Trailfinders haven't populated well enough. They need to get somebody back in that back kind of right corner spot. Zoe Harrison with one pass, spots it, puts it on the toe. And again, talk about momentum shifts. What a big momentum shift that is.
It's a great pass, wasn't it, from Corrigan? She caught it early, moves it, and as a kicker, that's what you want. It just allows you to pick your spot, and then when you've got the execution and the skill of Zoe Harrison, it's easy.
Okay, 5. Hold on, we're just checking something.
Yeah, it's a 50-22.
Okay. Guys, it is a 50-22. Saracens line out.
It certainly looked like one, didn't it? Because they received that big kick, passed it laterally. But always good to check. I think it's really important to make sure these calls are made to be the right decisions in such a high-pressure game. And it takes a couple of seconds between the referee and the TMO.
Trick play. Straight out of the Moritz Berta playbook here. Apps swiftly to it. And look at the Trojans lining up. Immaculate first up. That's job one done. Gain line, front foot ball. Apps on now to De Goody. Straying offside there was head. So Saracens with a penalty at worst here. Still is anything here in Twickenham, so they might go for the points. But for now, they'll allow Gregson to carry them up to within 6 metres. Apps, player of the match, and a pair of tries in the semi-final against Exeter.
You've got an option. No, it's not. You're marked. That mark's over there.
She's not offside on the ground.
No, but you've got a penalty there. She wasn't offside. Okay, you've got there or there. I'm guessing you want this one. Okay. Tackle her. No clear release.
Kelsey Clifford back starting for the first time since the Six Nations and might just go all the way. Not quite. They'll have a second nibble at this one through Packer. Over, but is it down? Yes, it is! Party Packer wants one more dance in red and in black. She'll call this place home next season, but for now, make no mistake, Marley Packer is a Saracen and a very dangerous one at that.
I read a stat in the week about Marley Packer, 90 tries and 120 appearances, so that's, what, 91 and 121. If you're a winger, you're going to take that, aren't you? Never mind a background.
5 of them in finals. She's a big game player.
Of course she is.
And you could see it prior, couldn't you? She wanted to take a quick tap, no matter where the mark was. She wanted the ball. She wanted to keep the pace high, the energy high. And that lovely celebration at the end. One for Oliver, her son, and one for her and Rosie Gallagher's one on the way sprinkle. So really nice touch from her.
Yeah, you've had 2 penalty advantages that we've played through. A, B or C? Okay.
Trailfinders women have had plenty of ball and plenty of field position, but nothing yet to show for it.
Offside. Number 6.
And discipline proving a problem again.
It's tough, isn't it? Because as soon as a team scores, you want to get back in the game, so you're just pushing the limits and head there, just getting a little bit excited, tackling, Apps tackling the 9.
Smooth as you like from Inman in the backfield there. Breach, who bailed this lot out on the 74th minute against Exeter in the semi-final with a virtuosic score. Smuggling it onto Harrison and then Packer. And here's Breach once more. And Macaulay. It looks as though she might fancy a rucksack to go with her winner's medal. This is the threat down the short sides. Superb from Leatherman.
Was it foot before head?
defended really well as well, wasn't it, by Trailfinders? They've got to be so alert to everything around the breakdown, whether it's Abs picking and going, the Goody picking and going, just that variation. She saw that little space down that short side, couldn't quite squeeze through it. But awesome defence from Trailfinders, just got to stay so alert all game for those.
Senft making things decidedly sticky.
Tackle, release!
For the side from Ealing. Apps onto Royer. Harrison. Hardy in the same jersey she was wearing in last year's final, and then the miss-hit from Jess Breach.
It's unlucky though, isn't it? Because there's a lot of space in that backfield. Meg Jones has found herself back there. Hadn't quite necessarily covered across.
Guys, get numbers, please.
But again, just playing to space. Zoe Harrison sees that high line defence, tries to get it out to Emma Hardy. And then actually, if that stays in, you've got a pretty decent foot race with Grace White and Inman chasing after it.
Guys, stop there. Stop.
I think that's been a massive change, having played with Jess Breach and watch her now. It's the development of her short kicking game. I think previously, every time you saw Jess catch, she was just going to take people on. Actually now, her ability to use her boot has been great for Saracens and England.
And here is White, off her wing, hungry for work. That from Norman Bell, delicious.
No, you're off feet.
Sold them something silly with the eyes.
You're on your knees.
And for all the zip and mischief of Liv Apps, Isla Norman Bell as well. She's got plenty of gumption of her own.
Yeah, and we saw a couple of these in the semi-final. Just looking at opportunities perhaps back down the short side. You think of how a Saracens defend. They like to get high, numbers on feet. They'll put pressure on in that high line on the open side. So actually having the opportunity to hit line-outs and then come back into the short side. So just look at the players reloading here. Ponsonby's on her toes. Isla Norman Bell goes across, draws that guard defender, and they're a whisker away. Donna Rose actually does a brilliant job, doesn't she, coming from the other side of the breakdown.
Fantastic take from Borland, and then, oh goodness, Gabby Sant shoots straight to the top of the big hits leaderboards. His fellow Canadian, Gallagher. Norman Bell, former GB7's vice-captain. Borland once more. Heads, crisp hands onto Leatherman, shaping for the steal is to Goody.
Leave it now, leave it now. Okay, play the ball.
Norman Bell, Gallagher. Numbers coursing round the corner here for Barney Madison's women. Still to the short side. It worked against Gloucester Hartbury at Queensholme. What a game that was. What semi-finals we were treated to. Just fumbled by Leatherman. What are Saracens getting right defensively here? Why haven't we seen Trailfinders' game today?
Well, something that we've known about them for a long time is their unbelievable physicality. Some of the athletes that they have in their forward pack, namely some of the Canadians, Senft and Macrelay, we've spoken about a lot. They're nuts and bolts in terms of when they're making tackles and the physicality, the drive, the post-contact meters that they can make every single time they're making a hit is unbelievable at times. So, yeah, I think Trailfinders are certainly mixing it up, aren't they? They're trying to find different spaces and really test this Saracens defence, but so far it's standing really firm.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's the physicality and the mess they're making of the breakdown as well. Their timing across all of those defensive areas has been spot on in the opening 25 minutes.
Gregson, a little bit of room. Apps herring down upon this. White's done well to get there, but Gregson pins her ears back. Powerhouse fend. With the little half break. Hardy plays scrum half. Packer to Goody. A pair of player of the years globally working together. Fields, 5'5" of Huddersfield hewn fury. Stodgy ball for the Wolfpack, hunting a third unanswered try in this final. Fed up of being bridesmaids, as we heard Marley Packer say in the week. Could they be about to catch a bouquet at the stoop?
Penalty advantage offside.
Penalty advantage. Look at the massive bodies. Crunching over for her brace. Of course it is, it's Marley Packer, she writes her own fairy tales.
You can walk back with me, not while she's kicking, okay?
And she knows exactly where the camera is too.
I wonder if her and Meg Jones are in competition for the best try-scoring pose this season.
This is where Saracens started it all. Short side scrum, they pick the right side. Sydney Gregson checks back inside, puts it on the toe. Olivia Rapps coming from that support line, chases hard, and then this is absolute bread and butter for Saracens, isn't it? They've got the best red zone conversion rate in the league. Scoring tries at will when they get there. Such patience, had the penalty advantage as well. So hard to stop.
Thank you.
Next, probably 10 minutes before half-time are going to be crucial for Ealing, though, now. Having gone 19-0 down, they need to respond with some points. You know, lots of possession, lots of opportunity, but they need some points on the board.
Our statistical guru, Tim, Katie, has just given me a fact that you're going to love, seeing as you like Marley Packer tri-stats. That's her third brace now in a Premiership final. 19-22 today.
Did they win those, Claire?
19, yes. 22, yes. Oh, here we go.
Hold. Okay, all good.
God, that went really pop quizzy all of a sudden. That was quite stressful.
Great knowledge, though.
Magic Meg onto Claire Gallagher, who's just as much of a sorceress on her day. Laughlin just shepherded into touch.
We've got to keep her in channel.
Good counter-attack again from Trailfinders. Again, it was one of the features last weekend in the semi-final against Gloucester Hartbury. Zoe Harrison goes down the middle. Meg Jones still in the backfield from the restart. That's where she holds herself after she's kicked the ball. And then again, it's just her taking off lateral speed, finding that edge. And Laughlin does a decent job, but they've just got to try and stack phases now, Trailfinders.
Speed of pass from Saracens has seen them go coast to coast, and Corrigan is just so strong, beating 1, 2, 2.5. Grace White, well done. Breach there in support. Quickly away from Apps. Well, this is getting grisly. Saracens are growing and growing into this showpiece. So many numbers queuing up for it. Packer selflessly gives it away to Sydney Gregson, who will cleave clear and score. They are painting London red and black, and we can consider that one hand on the Premiership trophy.
Which is crazy to say at 32 minutes, isn't it? But it's certainly how this game is going so far. And it's a great start. This is straight from them all. Zoe Harrison gets the ball. Meg Jones there you see flying out of the line. She's trying to make an impact. And then Corrigan just goes to work. She has absolutely no right to get through that tackle or that tackle. Grace White does a decent job of hauling her down, but at this point, Saracens are rolling. They're then queuing up. They're able to recycle quicker than Trailfinders are to get into defence. Marley Packer, easy, fix and give. And I tell you what, that's some try.
It is, and when you look at the detail of it, the hand speed of Zoe Harrison, Meg Jones comes so hard out of the line to close it, to catch, pass, and be that accurate is so impressive. And to be honest, she then goes again for the try. It's just so good, her quality of distribution. And at the moment, probably the best fly half in the world by a clear mile.
She's always very well supported, Sydney Gregson, by the school children she teaches, and how proud they will be of Ms. Gregson.
Backwards.
Scoring once again in a Premiership final.
Dropped on. Just accidental. Yeah. Just accidental.
That fumble aside and that cross water bottle put down, which is a bit of a trademark of Kevin, where we saw those at the World Cup. He'll be purring right about now.
I'd hope so. I mean, maybe not just after that phase of play, but in general. I mean, that last try, like Emily spoke about, was probably Sarries that he's brought with him. You know, some bits of Alex Ostory in there, but that's definitely a Kevin Rouet. The physicality, the freedom, the offload game that he's brought into it, all the bits that he's had huge influence on.
You can't help but think this is a huge passage of play now for Trailfinders. Saracens really found their feet, all that momentum. You know, 5 minutes before half-time, Trailfinders have to get something.
What a 90 seconds in the life and times of Sydney Gregson. Bridger, Corrigan working off her wing. She's gone all the way across Twickenham. Same could be said of White.
Okay, release now.
She is putting a huge defensive performance for this last 34 minutes.
Back when started, Trailfinders women, after a breakneck start, just not had a say in this one. Inman.
All on.
Looked really dejected as soon as that one left her laces. Corrigan. Sometimes so evasive, but sometimes she runs at defenders, Alicia Corrigan. Backs her power, and here comes the World Player of the Year. Back inside to a woman who has been uncontainable this campaign.
It's a great finish. I'd love to see the breakdown again, just to see where Sophie de Goede picked that ball up, make sure it was at back foot. But you can't take anything away from the finish, and how much of a stamp that lady on screen has put onto this league this season. She hasn't even played in all of the games. She spent half the season away playing sevens. Sophie de Goede there with the pick up from the base, so smart from her, such an intelligent rugby player.
Thought she was going to go all the way, she was going to tuck it and go, but Apps is on her shoulder there. I mean, Corrigan starts it because we think she's going to take the outside, doesn't she? But actually, she comes back in. She does the physical nature with them forwards, provides that platform. And then when you've got the smarts of de Goede, Apps, just looks too easy for Saracens at the moment.
They're averaging a point a minute in the PWR final.
Let me know if you need to get time off, just so you can check.
Trailfinders just now need to get into half-time. This is one of those moments where you just need to get in, you need to sit down, and then you need to readdress, and they need to do without conceding any more points.
Happy phase, we're going to pick it off.
No, Holly, I need you to stop, please. I'm going to show you a knock-on in the attacking phase.
Yeah, just look at that from Sydney Gregson. On first look, it looked like she'd regathered. But they're going to have a look at it because of obviously the impact on how Saracens end up scoring a try. But it looks like she regathers and then fumbles on the ground.
Okay, Craig, we're at the screen. You're going to show me a knock-on in the build-up to the try.
Yeah, I'm going to show you a knock-on. Replay is coming now.
So happy that's gone backwards. Okay, for me that's clear, that it's knock-on, there's clear separation. Okay, Craig, I have a decision, camera back to me.
Just stand by, Holly, please. Camera's back on you.
Okay, no try, knocked on. We got a mark on that, please.
Right, can I just ask one question? In the week, we got told after 3 phases,
No, not knock on, it's change of possession.
Right, okay.
That's change of possession.
So I just want to double check because they're all going to go
On the
mad,
15.
so I just want to find out the price.
So in protocol, it's a change of possession that you can go back for. Just here.
Molly Packer just checking.
No, so
as
you've got
all
a mark,
good
so
leaders
keep going
do.
back towards the 22. So it's about 5 metres outside the 22 and then 20 metres in from touch.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. Time back on.
There's some way to go back,
just
isn't it? Blimey, yeah. It'd be great, obviously, if we can see those in the moment or get that intervention as play is continuing. Doesn't always happen.
Same messages again for
But
you
again,
too,
I'll
please.
remake my point previously. This is huge for Trailfinders. They have to get something out of this before half-time. Katie says all they want is half-time, but if they can go in with something on the scoreboard, it just changes that mentality slightly.
outside. Let's fucking go.
Crouch.
Let's go.
Bite.
Yes, Liv.
Set.
2, 3, 3.
It's 9. Okay, 9.
Norman Bell with options right and left. She picks out Claire Gallagher. This has often worked with a little Canadian, but Breach reads it well. Yellow and black wall has flown up in pursuit, though. Lots of pressure on this exit. To Goody, who thought she'd added an assist down the other end.
Do not hold her.
Now doing something distinctly less glamorous. Kelsey Clifford, how good to see her back starting for Saracens.
Okay, back foot, back foot.
Softly spoken, powerhouse operator.
Again. Take the ball. Tackle, release.
Harrison happy to wait for now. She wants a little bit more room in which to manoeuvre.
Tell you what, if Saracens are trying to play the clock down here to get us to half-time, that is, I know, it's a big shift. Okay, they're setting up a box kick now, but blimey, they went through some phases there.
Use it now, 9, 13.
So Abs, for the second time today, has mishit a box kick. Let's get the thoughts of someone who knows much more than any of us about Saracens' attack. Sarah McKenna is down pitch side, and she's alongside Jenny Drummond.
Thanks very much, Claire. Sarah, my goodness me, what a frantic game. It's been so entertaining already. What do you make of it from a Saracens perspective? The scoreline looking great for you guys.
Yeah, look, I think that opening period, I think, showed exactly both teams' attacking intent, and I think that's what's really added to today's atmosphere. You can hear how loud the crowd are, particularly around some of those really exciting moments. So that's been awesome. I think after that first 20-minute period, I think the Saracens girls really did well to control the game at that point. They start to convert some of that momentum into tries.
Yeah, I mean, we're moments away from half-time. How do you make sure you keep your foot on the gas and you don't lose concentration at all?
Yeah, I think we've learned from the previous 2 games, actually, have been great lessons from us in terms of having that momentum and then losing it, and in that period then conceding tries. So we've had some great lessons over the past couple of weeks that obviously we worked on in training. So going into that second half, hopefully we ultimately maintain that momentum, but if we lose it, we stay in control and don't concede tries.
And classic Marley Packer already on the score sheet twice.
Yeah, she's been outstanding. I think she's got a point to prove, and the well wishes that have been coming in, like saying good luck to her, especially on her last game, has been amazing, and she's making this one count.
Look, thank you so much.
Trailfinders attacking against 14 Saracens now. Surely have to come away with something. If not now, then when? Norman Bell flat as anything.
Time off.
Okay, we'll have a look.
Okay. Craig, please check if there's a deliberate knock-on or if it's just a knock-on. And if it is deliberate, we need to review it to see if there's potential try-scoring opportunity. Yeah.
This could be seismic.
Yeah. If not, we've got 2 knock-ons and it's half.
Whether it comes off Zoe Harrison or not, it's hard to tell from that angle, isn't it, whether she actually makes contact with it or not.
That angle's not clear.
It looked as though her fingertips moved here.
That is so challenging to see. If you look at the flight of the ball, there's no real change in the flight of the ball, but to be honest, I think only Zoe Harrison will know whether she's touched this one or not.
Those are the 2 best angles, and currently I'm not seeing any clear evidence that she's touched the ball.
Okay.
That last angle's new, so we'll roll the last one more time.
Yeah.
Stand by.
It's also fast, isn't it, to have such an important decision. Does she bring her hand in
so
just quick enough at the last moment?
On your screen, Craig, I'll stick with my on-field decision of knock-on by Trailfinders.
Potentially, this is your angle, I think. Does the ball move slightly up after? Oh, it's so hard to tell, isn't it?
Is that what we're seeing, Craig?
Yeah, Holly, I've got no clear evidence to overturn your on-field decision of a double knock-on.
Camera back to me, I have a decision.
It's back on you.
Okay, no clear knock-on, deliberate knock-on. It's just a knock-on, so that's a half.
Well, the difference of a couple of fingerprints or perhaps the couple of pixels, either way, Zoe Harrison will remain on field after 40 minutes, which could scarcely have gone better from a Saracens perspective. A brace from Marley Packer, tries as well from Juliet Immaculate and Sydney Gregson. Harrison herself almost note perfect off the tee, and even though they will resume playing with just 14 on the field, it's Trailfinders women who have to find answers. Some analysis to come for you after the break.
All good, Holly.
Welcome back to Twickenham, where aside from North London and aside from the West, I would say a lot in a battle befitting of a final, but so far it has been one-way traffic, and the black and red vehicles continue to trundle their way towards the top of a podium they have been bereft of for 4 long years. Zoe Harrison's been pulling all the right strings, and her skip pass brings Hardy up to halfway. Apps onto Omakwale, who is having such a say on how things go here. She's playing for Leicester Tigers last season. What a lot can change in a year, and what a lot can change when Jess Breach is going to go all the way. The bigger the stage, the faster she goes. Jess Breach has now scored in 4 consecutive PWR playoff fixtures.
I flippin' love that. Nothing says confidence like, I am going to take you on. She had Apps on her outside, couldn't make the pass. She looked at Meg Jones and said, come on then, catch me. What a finish by Jess Breach that is.
It's a great inside ball, isn't it, from Zoe Harrison? Looks flat on first glance, but you're right. Jess Breach just goes, I am pinning my ears back. When you've got pace like that, why not? Great start from Saracens. They built really nicely. They worked to the edge, and then they're just picking off those players in the middle.
Well, she saves the day at the StoneX up against Exeter Chiefs with minutes remaining on the semi-final, and she has just driven a stake into the heart of any Trailfinders women's resistance. What a way for the 3-time champions to start this second passage of play. They have it back off the restart. It's Donna Rose carrying just inside that 15-metre mark. Clifford, happy to ride the challengers.
Hold in front. All on.
Clearing kick, picks out Inman. Jones deciding to take matters into her own hands. Gallagher's lurking on that touchline. Breach is well positioned, and there's space in the backfield, which Harrison would be delighted to exploit.
That's some kick again, isn't it? Just look, it picks her head up, sees that space on the open, unfortunate with the bounce.
Here they come again. Here's Sophie Bridger, talking in the week about all of her personal growth this season, how much she's matured as a rugby player. We're talking this week about how Saracens are viewing today as a chance to show everyone what Saracens can do. Here's what they can do.
Advantage, off feet.
Carving through, earning a penalty advantage. Omakwale trying to tackle an octopus.
I was going to say a fridge, but octopus works better.
Nothing coming.
A fridge full of octopuses. Octopod. Octopi.
I don't know what you two are talking about, but this pick from Olivia Apps around the breakdown. Saracens are just getting the run at the moment, aren't they? Julia Omakwale getting into the game brilliantly with all her pace and power. But when they get in the speed of ball, this is where Liv Apps comes to life, picks off those defenders around the breakdown that haven't had the time to set well enough to go forward or make good decisions. Julia Omakwale taking 2, 3, 4 defenders with her every single time, and it's just relentless at the moment from Saracens.
5, please. Guys, get numbers. 5.
It's the perfect word, Skaz. Relentless. Saracens this year. Every atom of them. Livid and relentless. And here they come once again. It's Packer who's got it. Of course it is. Stopped just short by Borland. But every time they've been in these positions today, they have come away with something. They're women on a mission.
Okay, hands and feet.
Apps on to Harrison. The speedsters can have some fun now. Breach gives it on to Corrigan, who pivots, shrugs off Inman. The best team in the league, strutting their stuff.
It was just a matter of who, not when then, wasn't it? It's tough watch, to be honest. You know, Sarries have come out, they were dominant in the first half, and then they've just flicked a switch, and Ealing can't live with this at the moment. Great finish, and the physicality, the ball from Zoe Harrison. You think Jess Breach is in, but it's a great tackle. Grace White again holds on to it, but Corrigan is so strong. The big fend, the big finish. It's easy work for Saracens.
Thanks, Emma.
Flags stay down on this occasion, but the damage has really been done in this one. 6 meetings between these two sides in their history. Saracens winning all 6 of them with an average scoreline of 51 points to 17. And when Kate Zachary described the Wolfpack as Trailfinders' kryptonite, I don't think she realised quite how hard that point will be proven today.
If you're coaching this now, Scuzzy, like genuinely though, is it about getting points on the board? Because realistically, the game's gone. Like, what is your focus point now? Or what's your messages to the girls?
We're back.
Such a good question, Katie. I'm still very young in my coaching journey. No, look, I think it's the same as being a captain out there, isn't it? You've got to try and find a couple of moments. You've got to try and find a bit of energy. I think certainly at this score, it's not necessarily about taking 3 points when they're on offer just so you're not on a 0 for me. I think it's about, you've got to try and get yourself on the scoreboard from a try point of view. But yeah, it's really tough. I think, you know, you need your big players to step up, have moments. And you also start looking to the bench, you know, who can come on and add something different and test the Saracens' defence in a different way. It's a brilliant start.
Inman, not Hounds, manages to pick out Ponsonby, who selected that line quite beautifully. Apps almost burgling that one. Zachary on to Gallagher now. They need these points. Trailfinders women. A little something. A shot in the arm, a little bit of hope. Burton barking orders, but it's Zachary's pick and go. Wassel, who emptied the tank in that fabulous semi-final performance. Here's another who can say exactly that, Burton. Leatherman, still going Leatherman. Norman Bow can't get hands on it.
Okay, back.
Burton, what a shot from Packer.
Shot! Back, hands up!
Second effort doesn't quite have the distance on it. Massive bodies, a grounded ball. And a little spark of resistance from Trailfinders women. And up against her former club, it's Maya Montiel.
It was Inman originally with the break, wasn't it? That release and go at the breakdown. Just as I was speaking around something and someone needing to add a bit of a spark to it. And then it's a great finish, really good patience. They got done something there they weren't able to do in the first half and actually convert some of the pressure that they were having down in the Saracens 22.
That's 15. 10 seconds.
Rosie Inman, who started things, and will finish them with the extras. And that's perhaps the loudest cheer of the afternoon so far, because the 10,000 that have gathered here for the pinnacle of the women's club game, they want a contest. And that will, in fact, be the last act of Rosie Inman's afternoon, because Niamh Gallagher is on at fullback.
It's so interesting, substitutions like that, whether they're done pre that action. So has that message gone down? Has that been actioned and they're just waiting for the stoppage of play? Because actually, look at the impact Inman just had in that build-up to the try. Would you still want to take her off?
It's tough, isn't it? Because they made a pretty big call selection-wise, obviously changing the two of them between semi-final and final. So
on the money from Harrison. 10 metres and 10 centimetres, that restart. Zachary, athletic as anything to get the ball back with the women in yellow. There she is, Niamh Gallagher, wearing 23. Ireland's Niamh Gallagher, and here is Wales's Caris Cox. Norman Bell keeping fringe defenders honest, but Royer has it. Senft back on after her yellow card.
Stop it, guys.
Harrison, as she so often does, just spotting the space and freeing Breach, and then Apps. Two of the world's best halfbacks. It seems unfair to have them behind that Rolls Royce of a pack. Speaking of which, here's monster truck Julia Immaculate.
I like that.
Switch play, Apps to the goodie. They were denied in the first half, but they might not be in this second one. Zoe Harrison, what a time for her first try of the campaign. The golden boots already in the bag, but Saracens' quite extraordinary co-captain is a big fat meat pie with all the marbles on the line.
If you're going to score a try, you might as well wait to a final, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah.
it's some finish as well, isn't it? I think as a back three player, you'd be chuffed with that. This is where it starts, stripping the tackle. All got a little bit messy. Corrigan comes away with it. Then that ball inside, Apps to De Goody. They know each other so well. Just gives the shout. And then Zoe Harrison, as I say, back three player would be proud of that finish. Really well taken.
That little inside ball, though, from Apps to De Goody was absolutely beautiful. And probably something that looks like Sarries have talked about at half-time, because we've seen 2 or 3 of those now, as you see Zoe Harrison go over, just exploiting that space around that ruck where Ealing are just maybe getting their fold. Not exactly right, but great finish by Zoe Harrison. And look, if you're going to score a try, why not do it in the final?
Marley, do you want scrum? Yeah. Okay, scrum, guys. Okay. Guys, had good outcomes on scrum to square shoulders, okay?
Well, Barney Madison has made yet another change. He's changed both of his props, Annabelle Meta and Cassandra Toffnail on. So let's hear from the scrum coach at Trailfinders Women. In fact, Jenny Drummond has found Fraser Brown for us.
Fraser, it's been a tough ride so far. How do you stop the onslaught that's coming at you at the moment?
Yeah, it's tough. I think we've lost a lot of collisions, and I think it's always hard when you play against Sarries. But we've allowed them a lot of yardage and around the contact area, and particularly when you've got live apps at 9, you just allow them to feed off of that. So we've given them a bit too much there. When we've had the ball, we've probably not had the tempo that we'd have liked. And it's probably not allowed to get our tempo and our speed into the game. We saw it for maybe 60 seconds and we score from it. So yeah, it's pretty frustrating, but we've just got to try and build, look after the ball.
And just before half-time, there was a bit of a contentious situation. Zoe Harrison potentially deliberate knock-on. Could it have been a second yellow?
Possibly. I think it's quite hard. It's very difficult to see that. I think if you run the risk going out 2 or 3 metres from your line and sticking a hand out there, I personally think the benefit of doubt should go to the attack. Obviously, I'm saying that because it was against us, but no, I think like it's really difficult. But that's the reason we have TMOs. You know, the other knock-on down here was frustration that play was allowed to run for probably another 2 minutes before they called it back. So that's just 2 minutes of time that we lose in the game. So yeah, possibly it could have been, but it wouldn't have changed the kind of the course of that first half.
Look, appreciate your time.
That's right. Thank you.
Saracens attacking yet again, searching an 8th score in this final. Looking to make it a League Cup double. Apps around the corner there. Mata pouring all of that dynamism to not only make the tackle but force the error.
Yeah, they've managed to get the ball back here, Trailfinders, haven't they? But that's where this game can really start breaking up now. Trailfinders want to get off the line. They want to try and get the ball back. By doing that, you get high in the line and you leave space for someone like a Liv Apps to travel laterally and start picking into those holes. So it's a really interesting balance that has to happen now for Trailfinders in their desire to get the ball back.
Laughlin says no thanks to Gregson. Kicks it on and it's well watched by Corrigan, but the chase from Laughlin works a treat. Jones swift to arrive. Norman Bell 2, Niamh Gallagher 2. Fascinating hearing Fraser Brown there saying that they were losing all the collisions. Perhaps there to try and change those pictures a little bit. Emma Taylor is warming up in front of us. She'll soon be deployed in the second row of Barney Madison's side.
Yeah, it's a brilliant ball from Meg Jones right across the front. Vicky Laughlin does a great job. Big fend out, kick ahead, and then it's interesting, isn't it? Every single bounce of the ball last week or 2 weeks ago bounced back into their hands for Trailfinders, and it's just not proving to be the day, but nonetheless, great transfer of pressure and another opportunity for them.
There she is, Emma Taylor, Canadian international. Being very coy about her whereabouts next season, but what a servant she has been wherever she has played. Jones starting to grow into the last few minutes. She's had slightly more touches, and White with the first carry of the second half. No look, Jones onto Gallagher, onto Laughlin, and the other Gallagher, Niamh Gallagher, going nowhere fast.
I mean, the intent's there, isn't it, from a Trailfinders point of view? They're trying to play with the ball in hand. At the moment, they're just doing it a little bit too far away from the defensive line. So actually, it just means that Saris can watch it, shift off, and obviously then be threatened by the touchline. So it's hard, as Fraser Brown spoke about, when you're maybe not winning the physicality. You want to stay away from that front line, but you've also got to engage it.
I just think they're making it easy for Saris to defend, going down that short side. It's too close to the touchline. Saris, like you say, can sit off Marshall and they're just bundling Trailfinders into touch. And it's an easy turnover possession for Saris to launch from.
Alana Borland being such a nuisance. And a guttural roar from Burton.
Emma Taylor right in the mix of that as well. And you can see Abby Burton, she's trying to just inject some energy, inject a bit of oomph to this Trailfinders team, celebrating those little moments. It gives them another opportunity to get on the scoreboard, but Borland just relentless with those efforts around that maul. Such a tough place to be. But certainly, as you said earlier, Claire, Saracens have had a really dominant display from a maul point of view in terms of metres and whatnot, so being able to get a turnover is a good win for Trailfinders.
And it's Zachary at the base of this scrum, which has worked a treat. Norman Bell's going to go quickly. No one's allowed to touch her. Packer does. Perhaps she'd retreated. Oh, no, she hadn't. So, free hit. Laughlin couldn't quite collect.
7, not back 10. Okay.
I visited Trailfinders Women in the week, and all the words that I heard, Katie and Emily, were things like bravery, swagger, aura, chests up, Meg Jones's mantra, why not us? Have you seen today a lack of confidence? We heard at half-time, we heard talk of self-belief in Saracens' rank. What's the missing ingredient psychologically for Trailfinders today?
If I'm honest there, I don't think it's psychological. I think it was physical. I think it is the dominance of that Saracens pack there. Immaculate, Tacker, Semp, Royer, De Goody, Donna Rose, Bright, the list, you know, you could name their full pack, and you see replacements coming on now. Poppy Cleal coming on there. They are just such physical beasts. And I think for me, that's been the difference between these two sides. Saris have won all the big collisions, they've won all the gain line meters, and they've gone forward. Trailfinders that have to manufacture meters, but generally going backwards.
Beasts indeed. Norman Bell running towards some of the most ferocious of them. And it's Marley Packer with another steal. Determined to finish her time in red and black with a flourish.
Just make sure you're on.
Poppy Cleal, player of the match in the 2019 final, in over that one is Harrison. Sends that to halfway.
Some clearance kick, isn't it, as Trailfinders go quickly, but you're right, Marley Packer in her final game, just zero chill, all intent, all effort. You know, she'll be going to the 80th minute no matter the score.
Zachary finding Ponsonby, who looks around for her support. Somehow, oh, it's bounced off the face of Cass Tuffnail. It's play on. Claire Gallagher. Going down the short side again. Zoe Harrison's given away a penalty.
You're under pen advantage, 9.
Gap is 38, but there's so much pride to play for, and with penalty advantage.
10 never onside. Number 10 never onside. Subbing. 6 and 2.
A trio of changes from Director of Rugby of the season, Barney Madison, Chris Blanco, Rachel Malcolm and Brooke Bradley are onto the field. Those latter two both returning from injury right in time for the biggest game of their club careers. Blanco bringing ferocity, Malcolm that leadership and defensive grit, Bradley maybe a little bit of spark in attack. It's a fantastic position for them to work with. Spanish captain Blanco's in the heart of all of that, but joining the party, Laughlin and Cox and Claire Gallagher. Borland. Wonderful Blackfern player doing what she can. Burton over the top. Saracens' discipline is just starting to waver a little.
Your secondary tackler, no clear release.
And it really has been, if I may say such a thing, it now has been a complete Marley Packer performance.
I totally agree. In my head, I was like, and that's it, bingo! If you've got Marley Packer at home, try yellow card, signs off Saracens' career in true Marley Packer fashion.
She looked like she was claiming innocence originally, didn't she? Like she was pushed, but you can see her foot on the ball there. But you're right, it wouldn't be a Marley Packer performance without one of those.
A yellow in the semi-final, a yellow in the final.
On the 5, yeah.
but you think there'll be something silver around her neck in about 20 minutes' time, and she remains one of the very best to ever do it. Georgia Evans is on, she enters the fray. There are little girls all around this place in Georgia Evans-inspired pink bows. And she'll have her work cut out from the get-go, because there was a bit of a head of steam to that Trailfinders maul. Bradley returned from that nasty calf tap, employing Claire Gallagher. Here's Laughlin. Cox is clear out. Claire Gallagher works so hard to get around and whip that onto White. White, such a crackerjack player.
Okay, no hands. I'm coming through.
Borland. Tuffnail, who was a right thorn in Saracens' sides in round 18 at the Stonex. They know the threat of Cass Tuffnail.
No hands, you tackle
Zachary
thank you.
going to the well in her final outing for this club. Tuffnail caught a little by surprise with that one. Evans flying across to make the tackle. Here comes Chris Blanco.
Okay, not now.
Taylor. Placement was critical there, just about avoided being turtled. Burton! Trailfinders women have their seconds. It couldn't have gone to a more deserving warrior, even at the base of this Everest they have to climb.
You can look up and ask me as well. I can talk to you.
I mean, you've got to commend them on the heart and the fight that they're continuing to show. I'm not sure about the celebrations. Don't know if we can have another look at that, but yeah, look, it's a really tough afternoon for them, isn't it? But they're sticking at it. As I said, you can't fault the heart or the determination or the intent that they're trying to go about what they're doing, and it's a really good finish. Obviously, Saracens down a player with Marley Packer's yellow card.
It's also a great learning opportunity, isn't it? You know, you look at teams, you look at the Saracens side, and you've got multiple players that have played up into about 7 finals, girls who've been in 2, 3, 4, 5. This Trailfinder side haven't had that same opportunity, but when you're building a squad and you're building a new team, the opportunity to take all this learning from this final about how you cope with pressure, what do you do if you go down early, all those moments that when you come back to a final, you can use and you can change. And I think for me, that's the big thing, is it stick to your processes. Yes, you've got to change the score because you want a respectable score. But, I mean, you look at that stat, isn't it? Lottie Sharp coming on, Poppy Keel, you've brought 2 of those girls off the bench and they've played in 7 finals. How to close a game out in spades. So I think it's a great opportunity for Trailfinders, but it also just shows the dominance Saracens have had on this women's game over time.
All 4 of the women that you just saw on your screen now sharing the field. Harrison, Cleel, Sharp, Packer. Jones. There's a little 2-on-1 here. What an introduction to the game that was for Lottie Sharp, trying to stop Captain America Zachary. Gallagher tiptoes her way towards former teammate Liz Craik. And right in the middle of that is Poppy Cleel. Such a rotter to play against.
Definitely been called worse than that, I'm sure.
It's a family show, Katie.
You're right, though, just, again, just relentless in terms of how competitive she is. But the crowd gave this one a good cheer. Again, Trailfinders trying to exit. Lottie Sharp going big.
Let's go.
Interesting to see the contact point. Looks probably chesting up a bit, but again, just she's been such a brilliant servant to this Saracen side. I'm sure she would have loved to have started this final, former captain. But awesome for her to be back in yet another final.
And one of the few players probably in this group that still works. Primary school teacher by trade, multiple balancing what is now 2 jobs, really, because the PWR from amateur players are doing so much more when you're working. So, very impressive individual.
Here's Amelia McDougall. In its centre, she's replaced Sophie Bridger. So there's dual playmakers now on the outside of Apps, in Harrison and in McDougall. Craik, who's got a real point to prove against her former employers today. Trailfinders women defending with 14 as Blanco limps back into the line. Poppy Cleal. Speculative kick up over the top, well hoovered up by Niamh Gallagher. White.
They're not coming back for that knock-on in the tackle.
Not yet.
I mean, that is a big miss. That was huge. The inside ball again lined up. Big hand.
There's some tired bodies out there. A couple of individuals taking balls stood pretty still. Once more, the loop pass from Jones. Lovely offload from Laughlin. Cox in for Emuran. Charge down to Goody.
Take a step.
Just over 10 minutes to play, and they've stemmed the bleeding somewhat in the second half, Trailfinders women. But you wonder to what extent that Saracens taking a foot a little bit off the throat.
Leave it now. Okay, let them play it. No, step.
Malcolm. And then Laughlin, who's threatened every time she's had it today. Can't quite beat Harrison for pace.
No, take a step.
Defensive work of Zoe Harrison, often something that goes under the radar. Katie, you talked about what Trailfinders are building, what Barney Madison has built this season, what they've done in just 3 years. Are they here to stay?
Okay, just here.
Is this the first of many playoffs for Trailfinders women?
Just hold her there till
Yeah, I think if you just look at the players who recruit there, you know, the way they're playing, the Rachel Malcolm's players who are established in their international side will want to go to Ealing, you know, in the heart of London. Typically it was Harlequins, it was Saracens with that London dominance, wasn't it? But as you see Barney Madison on your screen there, yeah, I think they're going to, a brand of rugby, you know, the bit they've got around this enjoyment. Emily touched on Abby Burton's try celebration, you know, they're really building an identity, and an identity that looks to be just as much about good rugby as it is about fun. And I think that is a massive recruitment, you know, a day programme as well, which is huge, a bit more rarer in the PWR at the moment. So there's a lot of positives of what Ealing have done in a very short space of time.
Sorry. Thank you.
Craik.
Have we got that as a knock-on,
lunges upon that loose ball.
Okay.
The Trailfinders are moments away from emptying their bench.
Okay, guys, we're under pressure there. Back to the knock-on. Okay. Time off. 7 gold sub. Number 7, please.
And here comes Sally Williams, one of the hot young prospects at Trailfinders Women, taking the place of someone who is quite simply an icon. Kate Zachary, World Cups in 7s and 15s. Co-captain of Exeter Chiefs in their inaugural season, led them through to the playoffs. Captain here at Trailfinders Women. Coaches rise to their feet. Applause from the 2 World Cup winners alongside me. She is an icon.
Yeah, she is. Obviously, she had a huge spell and a huge influence when she was down in Exeter. She's had a huge spell and a huge influence when she's been up here in London. You know, coupled with obviously the international influence that she's had for many, many years. It's been brilliant to have her in the PWR, all her experience, all those breaks off the backs of scrums that we're so used to seeing from her. Yeah, what a personality to have.
And I think she did that at a time when not as many foreign players had come into PWR. She was almost like that first group, you know, the Sophie de Goodies, the Kate Zacharys, Katana Howards, a load of Americans that came over. And just, you can hear from the crowd the impact she's had upon this league.
Hold on, let's see what happens next stage. Okay.
Gregson's just caught Meg Jones high.
High tackle. 13, so sorry. High tackle.
So funny, isn't it? You know, Saracens are 45-14 up, and we're up here in the box, and we can hear Alex Osterbury shouting instructions to that Saracens team on the pitch. You think it's 71 minutes with that lead, you can probably just, you know, just relax, just enjoy the experience.
Just here, guys.
I don't think Alex Osterbury does relax.
So true.
Nor does Marley Packer.
Straight back on. There's 8.5 minutes left, and she wants to play every second of them. Malcolm claims it. Burton. The bowling ball through traffic. Blanco. Claire Gallagher. Meg Jones.
Don't think they know yet. 4 guys.
Fields. Can't quite find a Macaulay on that occasion. Bradley so swift to react. Borland's gifted it to a Macaulay whose leg drive belongs in a gallery. To Goody and Sharp herring down upon Laughlin. He's so graceful through traffic, Vicky Laughlin.
Just looks effortless, doesn't it? Almost like Sue Day-esque. I know we're going back, but he just glides through.
Guys, don't do that. Get off her leg.
This is already the biggest ever attacking scoreline in a PWR final, eclipsing what Saracens managed against Exeter back in 2022. 1,486 days ago, the last time that Saracens hoisted the Premiership trophy. Packer. Still going. Those batteries won't run down, not today.
Hold 10, hold good, thank you.
Harrison, cool as ice. Just opts to send it upfield. Let Trailfinders women with lactic sodden legs play.
And who was leading the kick chase charge? None other than your second row, who has put in some unbelievable work.
Dougal saw her life flash before her eyes there.
Hold that, hold that. We're good to play. Yeah.
Harrison. Oh, on to Corrigan, who's been a bit of a seatbelt tackle on her, but they keep the ball alive. Do the league's top offloaders. Apps, juggles, stretches, strains. Bodies down in the backfield, cramping the storied calves of Claire Gallagher and Meg Jones.
Was it 11 or 10 he made that tackle?
There's a yellow card.
Okay, time off. Crows, you need to box off what number made that tackle, because they're going to the bin.
Understood.
We're just getting the number. Okay, tackle is complete there. Okay, I'm actually happy that 11 wasn't part of that tackle, so I've got my decision wrong, okay? So it'll be a scrum to Trailfinders. Okay, Craig, camera back to me.
Camera's on you.
Okay, sorry. Guys, There's no penalty there on review, so it's going to be a scrum to Trailfinders, okay, for the strip. Okay, that's fine. Time's off. No.
I like that from Hollywood. I think it's
part of the tackle. Okay, she was released, and then she's picked the ball up on the ground.
She's just explaining there to Marley Packer what happened. She obviously thought she saw something on review. It wasn't the case, so it gives Trailfinders the ball back.
4 and 9 red substitution. 4 and 9, please. 9, 4 and 9.
Is that one of the most precious claps and ovations in the game when Marley Packer tells you you played that well?
You've gone well there, haven't you? If Marley Packer claps you or gives you a pat on the back, that is serious. She has been outstanding though, hasn't she, today? Both of them.
Apps and Immaculée, athletes new to Saracens this season, but at the beating heart of their campaign, they are off. So welcome onto the field, youngsters Chloe Flanagan and Tori Sellers. Chloe Flanagan, just 22 years old.
Ball's out.
And the Wolfpack intent on making today absolute hell for Trailfinders women right into the final 5 minutes. They don't do charity, Saracens. Poppy clear onto old running mate Packer.
How desperately do you think she wants a hat-trick?
Oh, with every bone in her body. Corrigan skipping through the tackles. Another one who's had fingerprints all over this season, Alicia Corrigan. She's just so good. Sellers on now to Goody. Last year, agony for Saracens, but they went away, they evolved, they recruited so cannily. And the minutes are ticking down of what will have been one of the most conclusive finals performances we've ever seen. Corrigan offloads, gives it to Breach. Ruthless, pointed, ravenous, relentless, whatever you want to call it. Saracens are having an awful lot of fun out there, but make no mistake, this has been a mauling.
Saracens are absolutely relentless, aren't they? They have no chill. The only way they know is full foot on the throat.
I'll tell you when it's 15.
And it's exactly what they've spoken around in the last couple of weeks in the build-up to this final. They knew what they wanted to go out there and achieve. It's lovely hands down the line. Corrigan, who I think has been brilliant all afternoon when she's had her moments, back inside. And Jess Breach with another try to add to her already ridiculous tally for both club and country.
Saracens go past the half-century. Jess Breach has now got 4 tries in Saracens colours in PWR finals. Back at a ground that she knows so well.
That must have been the easiest try she scored as well. Corrigan had done all the hard work, probably could have turned and reached.
No, you're off your feet, you're off your feet.
And a gorgeous subplot to all of this is the redemption for the likes of Corrigan and Apps, those Canadian athletes who tasted the sting of silver across the road last September and at the Stade de France in the Olympic final. They're going to be golden girls this afternoon, and they are athletes who deserve it.
Thank you. Out the way, 7-2. Don't hold her, don't hold her.
So cute from Cleo. Just as deft from De Goody. Oh, there's been a forwards pass.
Marley Packer has never run so fast as trying to get on the shoulder there of Tori Sellers. Desperate for that hat-trick.
Inside Sarah's half.
Inside Sarah's half, yeah, right at the start of that season. 7 metres inside, keep going forward.
Well, Emily Scarrett, we've given you the very important job today of deciding who our Built for Athletes player of the final is going to be, but we're going to make everyone wait a little bit longer, and in the meantime you can give us some contenders.
Yeah, tough to pick. I think half the Saracens side could have been on the contender list, couldn't they? But I think Julia Macaulay, we've spoken about her so much, both sides of the ball, super, super physical. Marley Packer, couple of tries, couple of turnovers, always there in big moments. Zoe Harrison, yet again, has just controlled this game through her kicking, through her passing. Just spoken around Alicia Corrigan in terms of the impact that she's had when she's been on the ball. And a notable mention for Grace White. I think she's defended incredibly well, done so much work off the ball, perhaps not had the amount of time ball in hand that she would have liked, but nonetheless a really good performance from her.
Cox, Jones, Cox. And then snuffed out by your new PWR champions. Best attack in the league this year, but also, and it's been evident today, the best defence too.
The physicality has just been so good. The two games we probably didn't see, it was Gloucester Hartpury at the beginning and a little bit in that extra semi-final, but other than that, they have physically dominated every side in this PWR this year and ultimately are worthy winners.
Impressive, awe-inspiring and emphatic of fashions. They have sieved and they have plotted for 4 long years, and these women here might just be the most dangerous and entertaining iteration of the Wolfpack that we have ever seen. You can see what it means to this world-class outfit, immaculately coached and ferociously physical. Trailfinders season has been a fairy tale, but today they ran into some big bad wolves. And Saracens are back on top of the English club game with a record-shattering score to boot. Full time in Twickenham, Saracens 52, Trailfinders women 14. Emily, you gave us a list of sensational players. You must now choose one, and we're all dying to hear who you've gone for.
It probably would have been fitting, wouldn't it, for a Marley Packer on her last outing for Saracens, but for me, I think Julia Macaulay has been the difference. The physicality in her carries, the physicalities in her tackling from the minute go, and we've seen it all season. I think she probably doesn't get the plaudits she deserves, scored a try, so Julia Macaulay is the Built for Athletes player of the match, and very, very well deserved.
Just a year ago, she was playing at Leicester Tigers, one of the standouts in a side that truly struggled, Katie, for form, for results, for performances. But Alex Osterbury, who's got an innate eye for talent, has brought her in, and she's been right at the heart of this season.
She has, and like Emily touched on there, it's just that physical presence. She suits Saracens, doesn't she? She loves the confrontation. She is like a Fridge and Bambi crossed together. So powerful, so strong, but there's limbs everywhere. And I mean that with the biggest amount of compliments, because I'm scared of her. But she's been a great signing, and she's just so powerful. And it's great to see, isn't it? You know, Saracens are such well-deserved winners.
Just mentioned Alex Osterbury, we've just seen him on screen there. Emily, a word on his influence in the English club game. He's been around forever. He's the longest serving member of the Premiership, and he's pretty cantankerous. He can be pretty grumpy. He keeps all of us on our toes, but you just ask any of these women here, he's got a heart of gold, and they play for him as much as for each other.
Oh, 1,000,000%. They all speak incredibly highly of him. He obviously started off in the community game, didn't he, a long time ago, and he came into Saracens. He took over. He's done all the jobs, I think, under the sun there.
Before you were born, I think.
Before I was born, exactly. But he's developed with this team. You know, he's brought in Kevin Rouet. He's had a spell out with the Canadian national side. So, you know, I think it's easy to get to a point probably when you've been coaching a side for a long time and you just stay a bit stagnant. He's wanted to evolve. He's wanted to continue to progress. I think the signings that he's made to rejuvenate this Saracen side have been inspired. Some of those Canadians, live apps for one, got a bit of a war wound there on the neck. But yeah, he deserves all of the plaudits.
They will have wanted Katie to take on Gloucester Hartbury at some point and get the result over them this season. But the performance today, so compelling, so composed, the worthy winners this year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, you always want to beat the best. When you go and win something, we can talk about 2014 World Cup and New Zealand not being there, but I think for them, they have been so dominant. It doesn't matter. This was their title, probably from the second game of PWR, and like we said, really worthy winners.
Some of the best players in the women's game. Tears coursing down faces, mingling with the sweat. Molly Packer has 4. Saracens are your PWR champions for 2026.
Julia, huge congratulations. First of all, you are the Built for Athletes player of the match. Here's your tote bag. Look, huge congratulations. Your first season with Saracens, you're player of the match today. You're now PWR champions. Can you put into words just what this means and what it's been like for you?
It's an amazing feeling. The girls are incredible. This wouldn't have been possible without the whole team. We've grinded, we've worked hard all season. Everyone, not just the 23 who were on the field today, but everyone who showed up at practice each and every single day has made this possible. And I love this group of girls.
The way you played the match today, it felt like everybody knew exactly what their role was. You were so organised the whole way through, and you managed to fend off Trailfinders women in that first 10 minutes. What would you give yourself, I guess, out of 10? How do you rate that performance from the team?
I don't even know if I can rate it. All I'll say is that we put in the work throughout the season. We've learned from each and every game, and it's allowed us to put this performance together. I give it a 10 out of 10. It wasn't perfect, but we did what we had to do, and we made it happen.
And look, the Canadian influence amongst you guys as well. This is really special. Can you tell me a little bit more about it?
Oh gosh, what can I say? It's just the Canadian girls. It's been amazing playing with them, and I think being able to kind of put that Canadian influence into the Saracens team, and not just the Saracens team, all across the PWRs, the Canadians are sprinkling a little bit of their influence, a little bit of their sparkle, and just having fun while playing rugby.
Yeah, finally, have you enjoyed it? That's what I want to know. I can see the smile on your face. It's pretty big right now.
Oh yeah, I've loved every second of it. Every cramp, every blood, sweat and tears. It's all made it worth it. Couldn't have asked for anything else.
Well look, go and enjoy it with your team. Julia, huge congratulations. Well done.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks guys.
Well, we've just seen Hollywood receive her medal for officiating her first Premiership final. She's played in them, of course, but for the first time today, 86 days after giving birth to gorgeous little Ada, her second child. She had the whistle, and what a job she did with it. Craig Maxwell-Keys, our TMO, Mike Hudson and James Pidding, our assistants. And now, with our ceremonial party of Genevieve Shaw, Executive Chair of the PWR, and Shannon Gallagher from Gallagher. A word, Katie Daly-McLean, on Trailfinders women. 6th on debut, 7th last year. This year, runner-ups in the best competition in the game.
Yeah, and I think it's a massive round of applause. I'm sure that group are extremely frustrated. I think they came into it, and like Meg's tagline was, why not us? Why can't we do it? I think they'll be disappointed with the score today. But Saracens were so good. But I just think 3 years in, to be able to do what they've done, the squad they've assembled, you know, they're going to go from strength to strength. And we will undoubtedly see this Trailfinder squad back in this final, probably next year, if not for years to come.
Barney Madison, Director of Rugby of the season for this competition, beloved over in Ealing. And what a sensational trajectory these women are on. They haven't announced any of their leavers or any of their new signings for next season. They're keeping it coy until next week, we understand. But it sounds as though this is quite a settled squad. And if that's the case, then they're here to stay.
Definitely. I think they brought in 19 new players last year, 17 exited. Squads don't want to be making those changes year on years. You know, I'm sure we'll see a couple of exits. I'm sure we'll see a couple of new faces back in yellow. But ultimately, you want to find the spine of your squad and then just sprinkle a little bit of targeted recruitment in there.
Fiercely proud, these women here, to have shaken up the status quo. And these women, fiercely proud to be back at the summit. Saracens started the year with a cup title defence, and they will end it by bringing the PWR trophy back to North London, and each of their London rivals defeated in those finals. Harlequins in the cup, Ealing in the biggest of them all, dispatched with the stakes at their highest, which is just how Marley Packer likes her stakes. They've been so open and honest, Katie, about how much last year hurt, leading at the break against Gloucester Hartpury at the StoneX. But in terms of channeling those emotions, it's been peerless.
It really has, and for those that are new to the game, Saracens have been a dominant force since probably the 90s, really. They've been such a big side. So for 4 years, not having Saracens as a winner is crazy in the women's game. So it's great to see, and like I say, I keep saying it, and I can't believe I am, they are worthy champions. They have earned their stuff this season.
To put a number to that dominance, this is their 17th title in 33 years. They talk about dog, they talk about fight, they talk about the Saracens way. Well, the Saracens way is a winning way. Back on top of the world. Marley Packer, 121 and out with a title. Zoe Harrison, who's been playing on these big occasions since she was a teenager. And right across the road from one of the all-time Red Roses days. An unforgettable one in club colours. Absolute jubilation. Now the party can begin. And a Wolfpack with a distinctly Canadian howl this year. Look at what it means. Look at what it means to these women here, to little Oliver, to Marley, to Rosie, to all of them. It's been a roller coaster of a few seasons for Saracens, but tonight, Packer will party, and they can call themselves the queens of the English club game once again.
She still can't dance, though.
Pretty good at rugby.
Yeah.
Pretty good at rugby.